home. Australia looking to upset South Africa here in this quarterfinal. They're South Africa. They're at home. They have a very supportive crowd, and they're playing decently. They did lose to Argentina yesterday. Was it Argentina? No, Ireland. They lost to Ireland yesterday. But strong wins against USA and Great Britain. I think South Africa is one of the teams where I still recognise half the players. It's been churn for a lot of these teams, but South Africa certainly have a few I know. All right, and out come the teams. South Africa in their almost teal kit, and the Australians in their gold, orangey gold kit. So the teams are out. They're just yet in their huddles before we start this game. And it's a strong lineup for South Africa, with the likes of Spekman, Geduld, Nokia, Davids. It's a strong kit. There's a lot of dreadlocks out there. Oh, I missed the days of South Africa. What a player he was. Portuguese ref, Paulo Duarte. This will be a cracker of a game. There's some absolute lightning feet out in the South African side. And it will be Geduld, I think, or is that Davids? I think it's Davids who'll get us underway. Yeah. And we do. They go kick to the right. Australia rise to catch it. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, we took him before he was put down. But no penalty from that. Australia playing from deep here. They're inside their 22. Oh, it's a big bump off there from the Australian player. They're streaking away down this right-hand side. Big pass in field. Doesn't go immediately to hand, but Australia do have possession. They're inside South Africa's 22 here. And South Africa give away a penalty at the ruck. And that's a very strong start there from Australia. Huge bump off by the winger. James Turner with a huge bump off. I believe it was on Geduld. Australia tap and go. Long bottom. And yeah, there's a knock on in that tackle. Oh, it's a penalty, and there's already going to be a card. There's already a card for South Africa 1 minute into the game. And it's human. No, sorry, Nokia, not human. It's Nokia. They got the player wrong there. So Longbottom will take it quickly, and they horrible pass trying to do a scissors, but Australia have seemed to make it work. They're into the 22 now. They're looking to use their man overlap. Longbottom offloads off the floor, moving backwards, but trying to find some space. Going down the left-hand side now. Oh, and it's not a great pass. Not only was it forwards, but it's a knock-on. And that's good. That's really helpful for South Africa because now they're winding down the clock on that yellow card, and they have possession, which is crucial, and they'll look to keep that possession for as long as possible. South Africa have won 10 straight Cup quarterfinals while at home. 2 minutes into this game. 0-0, but South Africa down to 6 men for the rest of this 1 minute. Spekman cuts in field. Looking to use dancing feet to try and get around this defense. Can't do it. South Africa need to find a way to get out of this, out of their 22. Davids. And there's a penalty there. Hands on the floor before getting onto the ball from the Australian. So South Africa will definitely look to clear their lines here and kick for touch. And their yellow card is almost over. So they've managed that 2-minute period very well. It's a decent kick there from Selwyn Davids. And that is it. The yellow card is up. I don't. Does he get to come on now, or does he have to wait till the next break of play? I think he has to wait for the next break of play. Davids. Oh, it's definitely a forward pass there. Yeah, definitely a forward pass to Fiddled. And they will come back, but South Africa will be up to their full complement again. Yeah, miles forward. I am yawning so much. This is fucking crazy. Excuse my language. It's been a hotly contested first half at the moment. Still scoreless. Australia attacking down the right-hand side. Almost another bump off from the big hairless winger. I say hairless because he is bald. I'm not Longbottom in the midfield. They've lost some ground here, but they have now freed him on the wing. Good tackle there from Kadult. Australia take their time to recycle it, but do so. God, I can't remember the last time, if ever, I've seen a Sevens game be 0-0 at half time. Again, it's not a great pass, but Australia do get through, and now they're just interchanging, doing a lot of switches. They're into the 22. Longbottom out the back of the ruck. Turner gets it wide. And Australia will score the first try. A nice little step inside there, beats the man, and then he offloads to, I think it's Sargent. Yeah, Aiden Sargent. That's a good surname, isn't it? It's a great step there from Sargent. Kadil gets his hand to his leg, but doesn't manage to disrupt him. And that will be 7 points to 0. But there's still a minute and a half left of this half. South Africa need to show something because it's been all Australia despite the scoreline. It's been all Australia in this first half. That brings the total of tries up to 271 at this tournament. Not long until half time in this third quarterfinal match. Longbottom decides to change direction instead. Looked like he was going to the left. He decides to go to the right. Davids rises high and claims it. I would potentially go actually just and take half time. But South Africa are going to play here. Look here. They're looking to use their speedsters here. Oh, big tackle in midfield from an Australian. But there's a penalty given away. South Africa will look to go quickly, but they take it in front of the mark. 40 seconds left in this half. Not a good kick for touch here. They tried to bite off a bit too much. And he's not found touch and hands Australia the possession. And they could score off of this. And they will. They'll score in the corner. And that's all come from just a shocking kick to touch. And Australia get their second try of the match. and it is Nathan Lawson who scores in the corner. And I think that will be half time. Tell you what, this is the third quarterfinal where one of the teams has been scoreless at half time. 14-0 at half time. And it's the third, as I was saying, the third quarterfinal where one of the teams has gone into the half time break scoreless. It was Canada in the first game, New Zealand in the second game, and now it's South Africa in this game. I've seen quite a few teams do it at halftime, doing this breathing technique, or rather just taking deep breaths as a team. There's already been one big upset in the quarterfinal before this one. Ireland dominating the game against New Zealand, although the scoreline is a bit, I'd say, flattering for New Zealand. This will be an upset if Australia beats South Africa, especially while they're at home, and in this fashion as well. And due to that hat trick of tries in that last game for Ireland, Kennedy is top try scorer of the series at the moment, one above Moneta. So we're about to get underway for the second half. And Australia will look to keep up this this domination of this game and put South Africa under tons of pressure. And it's Fiji next against France in the next game in about 9 minutes' time. And that will be the end of the quarterfinals once that game's done. So we're about to get underway. Australia kicking off. Selwyn Davids. Oh, there's a head-on-head contact there, but it's not been seen by the ref. South Africa going to have to play from deep here. Oh, they're under pressure. Oh, it's a great offload out the in the tackle. Nokia offloads it straight to an Australian who's going to return. And it'll be an instant try there for Australia, straight under the sticks. And that is a bad start for South Africa. And it is Dietrich Rauch. And South Africa just throwing offloads they shouldn't throw, and putting themselves under just ridiculous amounts of pressure. And I tell you what, South African fans won't be happy with this. Their team is going to have to pull something out because they are not performing, and it's 21-0. South Africa have got to do something. Just like in the other two games, they have to, it's a big lead. Australia on a four-game losing streak in Cup quarterfinals, so they're turning that around in this game. But dominating South Africa in Cape Town is a hell of an achievement. Longbottom again decides to go the other way. Davids rises high again, and then is met by two men. A maul, I think, will be called. It won't be, as long as this ball doesn't come out. And I've seen this happen before. Davids needs to find a way to get his knees on the ground. So they're going to carry him. 4 players have just enveloped him, and they carry him into touch. And South Africa, I suppose, don't want to join that maul. It wasn't a maul because of that, because they didn't join. And Australia will have the line out. And considering that South Africa won the first tournament, they are not having a good game, or a good. I wouldn't say they're having a particularly good tournament at home, and that could be for various reasons. Could be just pressure, but it doesn't seem like something that would be a for such an experienced side. But they should be doing better than this. But it happens. 4 minutes, 44 seconds left on the clock. A lot of passes coming from Australia here. Australia, very interesting throwing style from long bottom. Looking to spread it wide to the left here. They do kick forwards. There's a slip from a South African player, but Davids has covered well. Sorry, Brown has covered well. And I think it's Parker who's having a great game. Yeah, Turner's having a cracking game. South Africa under huge pressure here. South Africa have to score next, but they also need to score fairly soon. We're into the 4th minute now of the second half. Australia take it at the top. The ball is out the back now. Long bottom thinks about going left, decides to go to his man on the right. Oh, there's a missed tackle in the midfield from Speckman. Roach gets a great offload to Parker. Parker tries to bump his man, can't manage it this time. Back to Roach. To long bottom. Swinging it again down this left-hand side. Using the full width of the field to move South Africa around. Davids with a missed tackle, but Brown gets him down. Brown tries to steal it and does. But they have to try take it quickly, and they take it off the mark, so they'll go back. Oh, it's a good offload off the floor if there was a player running onto it, but there isn't. So Australia managed to get it, and they are moving this team around hugely. Although there's a bunch of Australians down at the moment. Oh, it's a great tackle, but he's not held, and Australia go over in the corner. And that will be the game. I do not see South Africa catching them from here. A brilliant try there from Australia. Yeah, he got back to his feet. It's a fair try. And just too many missed tackles. The South African fans will be very disappointed. Longbottom with a brilliant conversion, 28-0. This is not the game I thought I'd be watching. I did not expect it to be this one-sided. And now there's, I mean, look at that. Just look at the passes. 45 passes to Australia, 15 for South Africa. They just haven't had the ball. And when they have, they've thrown ridiculous offloads. Australia running down the clock here, but just by not taking the kickoff. We've got less than 2 minutes left to play now. So Sargent to get this underway. And he does. They go deep now, which makes a lot of sense. And South Africa let the ball bounce. Very odd play here from South Africa. They do have the ball though. And they're they're going to have to play it from very deep. A long pass over the top to Davids. Davids just doesn't have the pace. Brown inside to Human. Human with the step to beat one. And then in the attempted offload, he throws it forwards. Parker gets a kick to it, but there will be a scrum. And will Australia keep South Africa scoreless in their backyard? And probably man of the match there, Parker is being replaced. They'll want to keep him fairly fresh for the semi-final, where they will either face Fiji or France. That's the game coming up next. Big match as well. Fiji have been in interesting form, I'll say. I don't even know who's playing for France at the moment. There's a knock on at the back of the scrum. So South Africa will have the scrum, and this will be the last play of the game, I think. Well, there's 50 seconds left, so when the scrum is completed, we'll probably see about 20 seconds of play before we're into overtime. Most tries in this set Sevens 2024 series coming from a quick tap. And so 42% of those. And then the next highest is set piece tries at 25%. The scrum will be reset. The referee's called time off. He's a bit angry with the Franderowers. Match stats. I mean, look at that. Carries for Australia, 23, 13 for South Africa. 45 passes Australia, 19 South Africa. 8 tackles missed by South Africa. A very bad stat. Not a good stat at all. South Africa will have an attack here, and of course they've knocked it on. So there will be time for one more scrum. And I think this is going to be a 28 points to 0 win for Australia. They will look to just get the ball out of the back of this scrum and just kick it off the park. And certainly looking forward to the next game. I think it'll be a bit of Fijian flair versus French madness, I think. Yeah, Australia do get the ball out the back and kick the ball off the park. And they keep South Africa scoreless. South Africa didn't even look like scoring in this game. And that is domination from Australia. And the blitz box, not so blitz in this match or at this tournament, to be honest. They're looking a bit more like the burnt out box at the moment. Blitz firefighters. And that is an upset, a massive upset. Massive upset. One more quarterfinal left today. We're about to watch Fiji versus France, and that will wrap up the quarterfinals.